I'd like to open the August 24th, 2022 City of Springfield License Commission meeting to order at 5:35 p.m. Our first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the August 10th, 2022 City of Springfield License Commission meeting. Did all commissioners have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Give me 1 second, my volume is acting up today. Perfect. Did everyone have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
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 Any changes, corrections?
No.
No. Okay, so I make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 10th License Commission meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Kay,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Next item is new petition for a new annual beer and wine package store license for Aura Care Inc., DBA Aura Care, located at 878 Sumner Avenue, Troy De La Cruz as manager of record.
Yeah, I'm here, and this is Violet Hall, the owner.
Good evening.
Good evening. Are you here by yourself or do you have an attorney?
By ourselves.
By yourself. Okay. Mr. De La Cruz, can you tell us a little bit about, your petition?
So we are planning on selling beer and wine. We are a small store. We've been here for about 5 years. I think I should let Violet talk more. She's better at it than I am.
I don't know a bit better, but I'll try to sum it up. We have been here for 5 years. We have been working very hard to keep our store open. Due to the store closings to the right of us and to the left of us and to the left of them, we were looking for a source of revenue that might bring in a little bit more income so that we could stay open. And we have been discussing this for over a year and planning it for over a year to save up the income that we would need to purchase the refrigerators and the items that we would need to sell. So we finally were able to save up enough money to get this done. And this is what brought us here today.
Okay. So what type of store is it right now?
Right now we are doing a little bit. I make my own chocolates. I make my own candles. I make my own soaps. I do some hot soups in the winter that people carry out. I do my own t-shirts. Practically nearly 90% of the stuff that's in our store is handmade.
We're basically going to be trying to turn it into like a smoke shop kind of beer and wine.
Okay.
So we're trying to do that right now, and we're going to see how it goes. And we love it here, and I don't want to close because we are great with our neighbors and we enjoy where we are, and we just want to proceed, I think, and try and stay open.
Okay. And what are your hours right now, and will they be this? Are you expecting to keep them the same?
Our hours at the moment are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. We're going to try to stay open to 9 o'clock, but that all depends on economics and if we can afford to do that.
Well, when we do get our beer and wine license, it will be from 10 to 9.
And we're going to see how that goes.
Okay. Okay.
And Sundays.
Yep.
Closed on Sundays, you said?
Yes.
We don't sell on Sundays.
Okay. On Sundays. Closed on Sundays. Okay. Commissioners, any questions?
Violet, this is a mother-son team, correct?
Yes.
And your manager of record is Troy, and you live about a block away, correct?
Yes, I live about 5 minutes away from here. I walk to work. Yeah, I can be here within not even 5 minutes.
Okay. And you're primarily there when the store is open?
Yes.
And the presentation, I attended the presentation to the Forest Park Civic Association and at the planning board last week, and the presentation was, as they said, a restriction on the hours for 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. sales with no sales on Sunday, and no single bottles of beer will be sold,
Yes.
just in 6-packs.
And 6-packs?
6-packs or 4-packs are not single.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, Mr. De La Cruz, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and, your experience?
Okay, well, I've been the manager here at the store since we've been open. Right now, I'm currently taking the tips management course for beer and wine. Like she said, we have been struggling lately, and we are looking for a new source of revenue. I love the area, and I would love to stay. So we're just trying different things right now and see where we can go from there.
Okay.
We do
So-
everything together.
You do
Yeah,
everything
it is
together?
it's a mother and son duo. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so you did touch up on the tip certification. So you
Yeah.
do realize how important it is that you are tip certified. Now, are you both taking the certification?
Right now, it's just me.
Okay.
My son's
so I-
going through it at the moment, but I will end up going through it with him.
Okay, that was going to be one of my suggestions, that you both are tip certified just in case, because anybody who is selling alcohol has to be tip certified.
Yes.
Okay, so once you have your certificate, make sure that you have it, where it's readily available in case
Yes.
you need it. Okay, now it's just the two of you. No one else is going to be selling alcohol.
Yes, just the two of us.
Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners?
When you do become vastly successful with this license and you have to expand your staff, the message here is that the staff has to be certified as well.
Absolutely.
That's
And
not
not at all. And I do believe that's a necessity for anyone selling alcohol, is to
Okay,
be aware of the laws.
just so we're clear there.
Okay, now you do, I don't know if you know, but if anything happens, whenever in doubt, do not sell. If anything happens, you do call the police, just to make sure that you are covered and that you're following along with your responsibilities as owner and or manager of record.
Yes.
Okay, so you do know and you do understand that anything that happens in the establishment will be your responsibility, whether you are present or not.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and you do accept that responsibility.
Mhm.
Mr. De La Cruz, you do accept this responsibility?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners?
No,
No?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I make a motion that we approve the petition for new annual beer and wine license. For package store license for Aura Care Inc., DBA Aura Care, located at 878 Sumner Avenue. Troy De La Cruz as manager of record. There's a second?
can we have a restriction on that license for sales between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with no Sunday hours and no sales of single bottles of beer?
Noted.
It's the other way around, isn't it? Isn't it from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.?
10 a.m. to 9.
10 a.m.
What did I say?
Right.
10
Yes.
a.m. to 9 p.m. Right. Monday through Saturday.
No sales on Sunday.
Right.
Okay. There's a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Okay, good luck.
All right.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Have a good
We
night.
appreciate it. Thank
Night.
you.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.
bye. Okay, our second petition.
I'm sorry,
is
Madam
for-
Chairperson.
Yes.
Commissioner Cade seconded that last motion, or was that Commissioner Signator?
I did.
Commissioner Singleton.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item is a petition for a change of manager for Kumar and Andy Inc., DBA one-stop liquor store located at 145, 147 Boston Road from Jose Luis Martinez Jr. to Trati Aurora, manager of record. I'm sorry. We can't hear you.
You're muted. Shruti, you're muted.
We can't hear you.
There you go.
Let's go now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a petition for a change of manager. Judy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience as, have you been manager of record?
No, I'm Shruti Arora and I've been working here almost 5 years and I have experience for 5 years too at same store at One Stop.
But no experience as a manager of record?
No, I'm handled that store for since like almost 5 years now. So it's no complaints, no nothing.
Okay. Are you tip certified?
Yes.
Okay. Is everyone else at the store tip certified as well?
Yes.
Anyone that's
Yes.
serving? Okay,
Yes.
or selling? Okay. How many staff do you have that will be, Peter, let me ask you this question, being that this is a manager, a change of manager. Should we go through the same questions again, Peter?
Mainly, yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Like the
Okay.
certification and all that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you are tip certified. Okay.
Yes.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I live in 13 Greenway, Springfield.
In Springfield. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many? What are the hours for the liquor store, for the package?
It's 9 to 11, Monday to Saturday, and Sunday 10 to 11.
11. And how many hours do you plan on being there?
Right now I'm working a full-time job because that's the only job I have right now. So I'm working full-time.
Okay. Okay, any other questions from the commissioners?
No.
No. Okay, so you do understand that being a manager of record means that you are responsible for anything that happens at the store, whether you are present or not.
Yes.
Okay, and you do accept that responsibility.
Yes.
Okay, and you know to call the police if anything happens.
Yeah.
When in doubt, don't make the sale.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
If we don't have any other questions, then I will make a motion to approve the petition for a change of manager for Kumar and Andy Inc., DBA, one-stop liquor store located at 145, 147 Boston Road, from Jose Luis Martinez Jr. to Shruti Aurora for new manager of record.
Thank you.
There's a second. Okay. Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have two informational hearings. The first one being New England Motor Car located at 720 Berkshire Avenue, Mohammed Razan, manager of record for a complaint from April 7th, 2022.
Present.
Okay. Attorney G, is the complainant here? Yes.
Yeah.
Louis, you're muted.
Can you listen now?
Okay, yes. Attorney G, how are we moving forward with this complaint? I know that there was an agreement, there was a car that wasn't passing inspection. Then Louis was given another vehicle, and I believe he's having problems with that vehicle as well.
If,
Correct.
If if you're okay with it, Madam Chairperson, it might be good to get an update on the current car that the petitioner has to see where
Okay.
things are and then see, what the owner has or will do about addressing those issues.
Okay. Louis, can you give us an update on the new vehicle that you have now?
Sure, good evening. Um, um, the the first time he just gave me the Jeep, and I went to inspection, and they failed for the red R. I brought it to him. He kept it for a month. And after that, he called me back and he told me get an inspection again. And yes, I did, and failed again with the red R. Plus, he gave me the car with a blow engine. I wanna show to the board something. This is the Jeep. That's the Jeep. And I will let you crank it up because he just give it to me with a blow engine. And I
Well,
just
sir, what's your last name, Louis?
Louis,
What's your last
and
name?
Luis from Feliciano.
Okay, Feliciano. So, Mr. Feliciano, what I think might be more effective is if we get an update on where you are now. So he's given you, my understanding was pursuant to an agreement, you purchased a Jeep Wrangler and then you were given a different car, like a second car. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on with the second car? Has that passed inspection?
No,
No.
not at all. 2 times
Okay.
fell for the red R. 2
Okay.
times
Have
failed
you, so the second car has failed twice with the red R.
with a red R. Plus the engine. I want to show to you if you let me. I want to crank it up so the engine is sounds blow like gla 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 gla. I want
Well,
to if you
yes. Well, sir, if you respectfully, I would know the difference between a blown engine or a not blown engine. So, what I think might be more effective, just so that the board can get the information that they need, why don't we hear from Mr. Razan? Is it Razan?
Yes, Mohammed Rizan.
Mohammed Razan. Mr. Razan, so as the petitioner has stated, he has a vehicle that has failed the inspections twice. Has there been anything to rectify that issue?
Well, I do have all the receipts with me in case if you guys need anything, but that's not the issue. He came to my lot after the first hearing was going on, so he selected this vehicle and he took it to inspections 2-3 times. He drove it, he took it there, he took it to, I don't know, whoever he took it to, he was happy with it, and then we agreed to come to a mutual agreement and we traded the vehicles in. And yes, he took it, he registered it, and it failed inspection. Then he brought it to me, and it wasn't with me for a month. Just to be on record, it was periodically taken back by him and driven, and updates were done to the vehicle as well. But when it failed inspection, I did everything to remedy the solution. So I did take it. I spent almost close to $2,500 on repairs and whatnot to get the things corrected. And when I bought it back to him and I gave it to him, there was no issues with whatever he's telling. I think that's not relevant at the moment. So I told him do a secondary inspection, but he informed me he did not do a secondary inspection. So the news for me here right now is that second inspection failed is new news for me. I was not informed. I have the first inspection rejection on my hand, on record, on file, but the secondary rejection was not told to me, was not informed to me, and I have no record of that or why it failed. I had no chance to even remedy that as of right now. I've only got to know it from you guys here right now that it has failed the second time.
Okay, so now that you know that the vehicle has failed a second time, what would happen next? I'm sorry, Madam Chairperson, if you don't mind me sort of trying to streamline things a little bit.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. So now that you're understanding that the vehicle has failed inspection a second time, what, if anything, do you plan to do about rectifying that issue for Mr. Feliciano?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I have to know why it failed. I mean, because I did spend a significant amount of money in repairing all the inspection items, and I have everything on file. So I have to know why it failed, so that if I want to remedy it, I can rectify that situation for the inspection.
Okay, so I think to the board, the issue before the commission is whether or not Mr. Rafi's license should be impacted because he violated a law, which would, in this case, I would suggest would be the lemon law. So I'm not sure what I wasn't here the first time this matter was heard, so I'm not sure if the commission wants to maybe make a decision on that question of the violation at the moment, or if they want to continue it to give Mr. Rafi an opportunity to address the issue. I'm not sure how the board wants to proceed.
And just not to cut you off, ma'am, respectfully, sirs, and I've been in business for 3 years in Springfield with you guys. And this is the first issue which has come up through here for, I don't know for what reasons. Personal tarnishment could be one too, but I've had so many complaints, so many things. We've taken care of each and every one of our customers in a satisfying manner. Right.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rafi. And I think that the board can consider that when they decide how to sort of dispose of the matter. I think that at this point, the board needs to sort of decide how they want to proceed next.
Mr. Rafi, I have a question. If given the opportunity to look at the vehicle again, would you take that opportunity?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Commissioners.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, Louis.
I just want to let the board know that I've been having the issue with this person, and my wife is here since February. The first year was a blow engine. I've been proof. You have all the proof, and even the last letter, he texted me and he told me, "Come and pick it up the Jeep from my lot because I need space." Another thing, he want me charge me. He want to charge me $1,000 more to fix my engine that is blow. This is the Jeep right there. I would like to concrete out so you can hear how's the blow engine. And I don't trust him anymore. I would like to refund my money because right now we don't have no transportation. My wife and I, we asked for people for have another transportation. I paid $14,000.
Well, Mr. Feliciano, I know you're frustrated and I appreciate that. But what I want to be clear, I just want to manage expectations that this venue here, the license commission can only make a decision about the business's license. So unfortunately, the license commission cannot force you or force Mr. Rafi to give you your money back or something of that nature. You would need to go to court for that. However, as I just said a few moments ago, whether or not Mr. Rafi violated the law and what he does about that, I think can impact the boards or can be considered by the board in making the decision on the license. But unfortunately, the board cannot order Mr. Rafi to give you your money back.
Okay, I understand, and I will go to.
If I may, sir, I think Commissioner Cade was raising his hand to say something. Was that correct, Commissioner Cade?
No, I wasn't, but I would like to, yes, perhaps insert something. To Mr. Lewis, you indicated that basically that you think that the motor is blown. Would you be agreeable to take the car back to Mr. Rafi?
No.
For him,
right now, I'm sorry that I cut you out. Right now, it's disabled. That's why I want to prove. Right now, this is the Jeep, and I want to prove that the car is blow the engine and it's not running.
Yeah, what I'm saying
First,
is that the engine, there are a number of things that could be wrong with the vehicle. You're indicating that it might be blown, but it might not be blown. And so
no,
it might be something that's very simple that Mr. Rafi could definitely remedy.
Mr. Feliciano,
I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry, Madam Chairperson.
Mr. Feliciano. Okay, it doesn't matter if you started.
Can you hear that?
We can, but we're not mechanics. We're not experts.
Yeah.
We don't know whether the engine is blown or not. Did you bring it somewhere where they said it was blown? I mean, all we can do, like Attorney G said, all we can do is weigh in on the license. We cannot ask Mr. Rafi to reimburse you the money. For that, you would have to go to court.
yeah, I will go to the court and thank you for your advice. I just want the commissioner board to let him know that he cannot be a theft and stealing money from my wife and from people. And he also want to charge me $1,000 so he can fix my engine again. So that's $14 plus $1,000. That's going to be $15,000. And my question is, where is my warranty? He failed by the law. He failed twice on the red R, twice. Plus the first Jeep, he failed with a blow engine. So by the law, he's a limo.
So I appreciate that that summary, Mr. Feliciano. I do appreciate you giving us those facts. So in terms of the board, what would you like to do next? Would you like to continue the matter to allow Mr. Rafi an opportunity to address this issue? Or would you like to make a decision on consider the license at this time?
I would like to have a consideration of the license.
No, Mr. Feliciano, I'm sorry. I was actually referring to, I was asking Madam Chairperson.
Yeah.
And the rest of the commissioners on what they wanted to do.
Okay. And I open it to the commissioners. What is any suggestions, ideas? How would you like to move forward?
I'm looking at the inspection report. Yeah. Louis, did you have this car inspected last Friday, the 19th?
Yeah, the same day that he just gave it to me.
All right. So it seems to have failed because of lighting devices and reflectors, directional signals. That's the only thing that's on here that is labeled as failed. So the way I'm reading this report is if you return this car to Mr. Rafi and he fixed these lighting issues, Lindales would have passed this vehicle. I may be reading it wrong. I don't know. That's what it says. That's where the only fail marks are. So as Attorney G told you, we cannot order this licensee to return your money to you. You have to go to small claims court for that.
I went. Thank you. All right. But
I would recommend that you give him an opportunity to address the issues on this most recent inspection report before doing anything more.
With a blow engine?
It doesn't say blown
With
engine on this inspection report. I don't, there's no category for that.
Yeah, because they
haven't convinced
okay,
power.
Sir, let me, I'm sorry, I understand your advice. And if I gotta check the loss, I take the loss. Okay, it's God, but I just want to let you know how the world, the inspection, how the world. He knew the engine sounds like gla 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 gla. The inspection told me I cannot fail for the engine because this Jeep is 2007, and by law I cannot fail that.
Oh, because
okay.
It's old.
So because the Jeep is 2007, by law they go by safety. The ROS, they go by brakes. They go by light safety. Okay. They cannot go by engine, even if the engine is blow or even if the engine is a gla 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 gla. He told me, unfortunately, I cannot fail for that because the G is 2007. But my ama, Mr. Rafi, he don't want to fix my engine. Right now, the Jeep is disabled. I cannot even bring to him. If I gotta bring it to him, I gotta buy AAA so they can come and pick it up because it's disabled.
Mr. Lewis, let me ask Mr. Rafi a question. Mr. Rafi, are you willing to tow this vehicle to your place and look at it? And if the engine is blown, are you willing to fix it? Mr. Rafi?
Yes, ma'am. A couple things to note is I've had this car for almost 7-8 months with me right now.
So
I
she asked you a
personally,
question.
is he going to
Yes
let
or
me
no?
talk or he's going to cut me in?
No,
She
Mr.
asked you a
Feliciano,
question.
Mr. Feliciano and Mr. Rafi, I'm going to ask you to please answer directly the questions that Madam Chairperson is asking you. So Madam Chairperson has asked you, are you willing to have the car towed and take a look at it? And if something's wrong with the engine, are you willing to have the engine fixed? So can you answer that question, Mr. Rafi? And Mr. Feliciano, please let him answer the question and not interrupt.
I gave him that option, but since he had also driven the car a certain amount of miles after he purchased it too, so it's kind of like outside the warranty right now, right?
Are you willing to do that today? The question is not what happened yesterday.
I asked him to go 50% on the parts only for me.
Okay, so the answer to be clear, the answer to the Madam Chairperson's question is you are not willing to cover the cost of the engine. You're asking him to pay 50% for
the parts without labor on mine, basically 25% of the repair.
Okay.
And he is not, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Feliciano, do you agree? I mean, do you accept that offer or not?
I gotta be honest with you. I didn't accept that offer because I'm ready for this meeting and I want to have the best advice from the commissioner board because this is happening since February and April, and I've been twice. It's just failed. Mr. Rafi, please fix my car. I bought this car for my family. I don't have money like that. Can you please fix my car and do not disrespect the license of the commissioner board? They give you opportunity to fill your family, Don't give my money. Fix it, please. Or give me my money back.
Oh,
fix it, please.
Madam Chairperson,
yes.
Madam
Yes,
Chairperson, if I may suggest, I think that the standard is whether the in terms of impacting the license, the standard is whether the dealership violated the law. So I think that the board has enough information to consider whether or not that has been done.
Okay.
After the failed second inspection, Attorney G, do you know if he has to give him another opportunity to fix it?
I think that there has to be 3 violations, but let me just look at my notes.
Okay. All right.
Or excuse me, I think there has to be 3 opportunities. Let me just look at my notes. So the dealer has a total of 11 business days or 3 repair attempts to fix the defect.
And this is the second attempt, correct?
No, my understanding is that this is the second car that was given
No,
to
this is I'm sorry, the second car and the second failed with a red R.
On the second.
Mr. Feliciano, just to be clear, you had a different car that failed inspection, right? The first car you had failed inspection.
Yeah, and this one failed twice.
Yes.
With a red R.
So this is 3 opportunities.
Madam Attorney?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first car was never taken to inspection by Louis.
Why was it returned back to you, or why was it?
There was a starting issue in the car, but he had it for more than a week, and he never took it to inspection at all.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
What was the purchase cost on the first Jeep?
$17,000.
So, all right, so you paid $17,000 for a 2008 Jeep. You returned that. You got a 2007 Jeep for worth $14,000, and he gave you $3,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now you have a 2007 Jeep with a value established of $14,000. So
Correct.
you are ultimately seeking $14,000 reimbursement.
Can you repeat it one more time, please?
You are requesting a reimbursement from Mr. Rafi of $14,000.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
So in terms of the lemon law, like I said, the owner has 3 repair attempts. The first one, the vehicle was not working or something, so he got the second car. The second car was repaired once, and I think the commission can decide on the third repair attempt, but my suggestion would be that to ask the purchaser to pay for some of the repair would suggest to me that this is not fulfilling the repair attempt obligation.
I agree.
I agree with that as well. I think it's solely up to Mr. Rafi to absolutely, completely fulfill his obligation.
And that obligation being to get the vehicle to pass the safety inspection.
That's correct.
Correct.
I agree with that.
And just to note, Commissioner Signature, you had talked about the inspection report. The inspection report does state that lighting devices and reflectors were the reason for the failure, but it also states at the bottom other, and it talks about the other being
Holes. Right?
Yes, rot holes
And
cab rotted out underneath near rear bumper.
Do you think that's why a reason for failing? Is that what's implied there?
I believe so, because right above that is it says other, and then it says fail across. So
Yes.
that's my assumption.
Yeah. So that's going to be more difficult to fix than lights.
Right.
I could fix that. I did have the frame fixed too. According to the first one, it said there was frame issues. I did have to spend a significant amount of money fixing the frame and undercoating the whole frame for him too. I went above and beyond.
It says some, but not all rot holes fixed. That's on the inspection report.
Okay, I could take care of the rest of the rot holes. That's not an issue.
Not an issue. What about my engine?
So I think I'm sorry, Commissioner Espinosa. My apologies.
No, I was just going to say that I do know for a fact that when you do have a rejection and it's a red R, it is a safety issue. And what they tell you is park your vehicle and do not move it, because it is a safety issue. So Attorney G, I don't know if you were going to ask Mr. Rafi, what he's planning on doing, but that would be my question.
Yes.
I don't think we need to go back and forth anymore. I think it's a matter of Mr. Rafi either agreeing to getting one last opportunity to work on this vehicle and so that it can pass inspection. And if we can't come to an agreement, then Mr. Feliciano, it would be up to you to bring it to court.
And if I may, Madam Chairperson, I think I just want to make this clear to Mr. Rafi that the board's I don't want you to miss the board's comments in that the repair attempt, when they're talking about the repair attempt, they're expecting that you as the owner bear the cost of the repair
for the safety
and getting the vehicle to you, that it is not a shared cost with Mr. Feliciano.
For the inspection, yes, I'll do whatever is for the inspection. Safety inspection, rot holes, lighting, I would fix, yes.
What about my engine?
Mr. Rafi, but I think that if you fix the holes and everything else, and it may still fail for safety. I mean, how is he driving this vehicle? You would have to tow this vehicle to your shop? And
mean,
is he going to be able to drive that vehicle?
when I gave him the car, it was not disabled. He drove it out of my lot. I'm not sure. That's what I'm telling you. It looks like for me too that he's dragged it long enough that if it has to be civil, I don't mind going civil on this issue. But to make things clear, so that I'm not taking any of your time more, that safety issues, I take the responsibility to fix it. If he wants me to fix the engine, I'm asking him to give 25% because it's already above the miles and the warranty is gone, right? But the inspection, yes, I'm liable for the inspection. I'm willing to fix the inspection. But I gave him an offer earlier saying if he wants me to fix the engine for him, I need him to give that money if he want to fix the engine. But safety issues, yes, that's my responsibility. And if he needs me to tow the car here to fix the safety issues, I will do that on my end.
Mr. Rafi, I don't know, I want to make sure you're not missing the point of Commissioner Espinosa's comment, Chairwoman Espinosa's comments, which is how can the car pass inspection if it's not even drivable?
It was drivable. I mean, he drove the car.
I understand that it was, but today he did not drive that car.
I'm not sure why he's saying it's not drivable. He could have done anything to the engine. I'm not responsible for that. I can't just take responsibility for a car he drove out of my lot, and he drove for a certain amount of miles, and he just says it's disabled. It's fascinating to me that a car which I had for a certain amount of time. That's what I'm telling you, right? How did it just become disabled all of a sudden? I mean,
Sure.
it's just.
Well, I think, in the best interest of time and sort of resolving this matter, I think that the commission is looking for that third repair attempt from you in considering how, if this impacts your license at all. And so my suggestion to you would be to consider the feedback that has been provided.
Yes, I mean,
during this hearing.
I would fix the safety issues, whatever the rust or the lighting or whatever. I've already spent the money on fixing all those things. So it's just a matter of, just a couple of $100 for me to fix those issues. That's not an issue. But in terms of the engine, if he needs me to fix it, I told him that this is the agreement I would go for. I'm not going below that because you have to take my stance there as well.
Sure. No, that's understandable. So, I mean, to the commissioners, please? 1 second, Mr. Feliciano. To the commissioners, I would suggest to you that you have just heard from Mr. Rafi that he's not going to bear the cost of the repairs because I just don't know how a car is expected to pass inspection if it cannot be driven to the inspector. So my suggestion to you would be to consider what has transpired and how that will impact his license. How that will impact the license. That would be my suggestion. To be very candid with you, I don't know that it would make a difference if you continued this matter.
Correct. I totally agree with you. So pretty much for the commissioners, is there any discussion on what we would like to do with Mr. Rafi's license?
Attorney G, just for a question, since he is not in agreement with repairing the vehicle, what violations are on the table for the commission to consider?
So the issue before the commission is whether or not the dealer violated the Lemon Law by not making the petitioner whole. My suggestion would be that he has. I mean, I think we've discussed sort of the evidence before you regarding that, but that's the issue before you.
You know what the penalty that we could put forth?
So what you could do is you can suspend his license. You could suspend the dealership license. You could, you could have so many days served. You could have so many days in abeyance. You can also, so you can suspend it for a certain amount of time.
And during that time, he would not be able to operate. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's not going to help Mr. Feliciano.
I was going to say, with that, he wouldn't have the opportunity to repair his vehicle, would he, if he cannot operate?
Right.
Yeah, so the doors would be closed essentially. So, you know, the difficulty is that the commission can only impact the license based upon the owner's activities with the petitioner. So if the petitioner wants to be made whole, if he wants to get a check written to him, you know, for $14,000 or any amount, unfortunately, he has to go to court for that. Now, I will say that, you know, he could go to court for that. He can go under the lemon law. He can go with a 93A claim. He can possibly get triple damages and attorney's fees and all of those things. So it could be very, it could be very expensive. We could be talking about $14,000 right now. By the time it's done, we could be talking about $30,000. So, you know, all of that could happen sometime down the road. But I think the point today is that this board really only has control over the license.
And excuse me, one more thing. So the law states that it gives a certain amount of time and a mileage for the warranty. So he's driven that amount and exceeded that amount. So you are holding me liable for a repair, and I'm willing to work with him to help him reduce the cost of the repair too.
Well,
right?
Mr. Rossi, what I think you're missing though is that you're willing to bear the cost for safety, right? Which is light devices and reflectors and rust holes. But the problem is that Mr. Feliciano cannot start this vehicle to drive it to you. So I don't know how you expect it to pass.
That's Matani, with all respect, my question is, a car which you've been driving out around and about and so many number of miles, all of a sudden before a hearing becomes disabled. That's questionable to me.
Well, I understand your question, Mr. Rafi, and I don't want to get into a back and forth because I don't know that.
So
I don't know that I'm sorry, let me finish my answer if you don't mind. I don't know that it really impacts what we're discussing. But I understand what your question is, but at the end of the day, you're saying that you're agreeing to handle the safety issues, but that does not have any bearing on whether or not this car is going to pass inspection. And I think we all listened to this vehicle being started, and I just don't know how Mr. Feliciano is going to drive that car to you.
That's so noise wasn't there before. It could, you could do something and get the noise, and it's civil for me at this point.
Sure.
Because between the hearing board, I did find some substances in the previous engine, but I'm not going to bring those things up, but you could do many things to a car just to get back at me.
I just gonna go
and the gentleman, he's talking here. He was very nice onto me, and behind my back, he was doing certain things, like posting reviews, and I don't know, making certain allegations.
Well, Mr. Rafi, respectfully, I understand that, and I understand both of your concerns.
Right.
I just want to give the board the opportunity to make the decision that it wants to make.
Right. And I would also like to humbly concern the amount of time we've been in business, and we sold hundreds and many amount of cars.
I think they've heard your testimony on that.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Madam Chairperson.
Okay. Thank you. The commissioners, again, what is your thought about this situation? If we do consider that he broke the lemon law, then what do we want to do? What are your thoughts?
The standard seems to be he has to be given 3 opportunities to get the vehicle to pass an inspection, and he's only been given 2 opportunities.
One.
So I think we have to give him a 3rd opportunity to correct what is wrong on this inspection report and see if the vehicle will pass the safety inspection. Our alternative, we can't order a refund. So the alternative is to shut him down, suspend his license for a certain period of time, which accomplishes absolutely nothing except to disrupt his business for a few days.
Okay.
Yeah, but Mr. Rafi's saying he did not know anything about the second failed inspection. He said he just got
Right.
notice of it as during this commission meeting.
Right.
So I don't see that being a third. I still see that as
No,
being
this is
second.
the second. This is the second, right?
Well, if I may, so he
No, second,
did say that he didn't know about the inspection issue, but he did know about the engine issue. And for the engine, he offered to split the cost of the parts, and then he would cover the labor. So he has had 3 attempts, right? So he had the first car, he had after the inspection of the second car, and then he had the engine issue.
He's had 2 inspections by a garage, right?
Right.
Inspections on this second car, but the
Right.
first car had issues, and that he returned.
But does
Yeah,
that
but he didn't
qualify?
get
Does a three incidents, does that qualify from one car to another?
So that's an interesting question. I don't know that the law is clear on that.
And that wasn't an inspection, really. It was just a complaint about a sound, a popping sound of some sort. Is what I heard.
So my question is, with the second car, the first car was remedied by exchanging it, giving I'm assuming money back, and then on the second car.
Right.
I don't think we can add the first car to the second car's health conditions and him meeting the 3 incidents 11 law.
I would agree. I would say it starts over again with the second car.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Ma'am?
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, if I may, just help me understand. In regards to the second car, when he picked up the second car, he has 7 days in which to inspect this car. When was the second car given to him? Perhaps Mr. Feliciano, if you could answer that. When was the second car given to you?
He is on mute. Mr. Feliciano? Oh, there he is.
Okay. Mr. Feliciano, hello. Just a question for you. When was the second car given to you?
It was given to us on August 18.
Okay. Within those, from August 18th through, well, actually tomorrow will be the 7th day. The car was drivable at that point? When did
No.
It was not. So you drove the car off the lot?
We did.
Is this
My
the
husband
Jeep Wrangler?
and it caused him trouble, like it turned off and it was giving him trouble. It was really weak, but he had to take it to inspection to see
The
if
same
it
day.
passed.
The same day.
Yeah, so he took it on
Yes.
the 19th for inspection.
He just
Yes.
brought it to me the 18th, and the same day, the 19th, I went to the inspection, and from there I couldn't drive it no anymore. I had to
Okay.
hire some people so they can bring my car to my driveway.
You had to have the vehicle towed back to your home.
From friends that I know, a lot of friends that I know.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am, Maria.
Even
Just
I just
Chair-
wanted.
Chair?
Can I say
Mr.
something? please?
Rafi, please let the commissioner finish her questioning. She'll address you in a moment, okay? Commissioner D'Angelo, I'm sorry, I'm gonna mess
That's
up.
fine. That's fine. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. So you were able to drive the vehicle but it was giving you trouble all this time.
Yeah, even police officers was behind me because I have the hassle light, and I
Yup.
was explaining to them that I just gotta go to the inspection without noise, and the officers was behind me, and he was following me. He never gave me a ticket. He never do nothing, but he was following me until I get to the inspection.
Did he pull you over?
No.
He just followed you to the inspection. Okay.
He was protect me because I have the
Okay.
hassle light.
Oh, okay. So he never issued a warning or anything like that.
No, he was
Defective
nice
equipment.
person, protect me.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Did Lindale Garage, did they have any comment to you about the vehicle aside from the safety issue?
I think you have on the report for inspection. I think if
Okay.
you guys trying to do the investigation and call the office over there, he gonna give you all the information of this car. He told me I don't know how this he can sell this car to you with a blow engine because his inspection, but he also told me I cannot fail from the blow engine because the Jeep is 2007. And by law, I cannot fail like that.
Okay.
So by law, 2007 under, they go safety, the rust, a lot of rust, light. But a 2008 up, you go for everything.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Muhammad and Mr. Rafi said to me, and he told me, give me the half of the money so I can put another engine. But I say, like, hold on, because I just want the commissioner to give me a good advice. Okay, now we're in this issue. If Mr. Rafi want me to give him right now half the money, $1,000, so he can fix my engine, I'm able to do it. But I just want to make sure that Commissioner Ball to be witness that he's not going to screw me up again.
I understand. Okay.
And
Thank
I
you.
trust him. He charged me $1,000. Okay, at the first I refused because I want the best advice from my wife and for the community Commissioner Board. So now that he mentioned that, it's on you to do the best you guys do. Why I should have broke my own engine when I give it this? We bought the car, we need it. Why I gotta blew it? So Mr. Rafi, if Mr. Rafi want me to give him the half the money, $1,000, I will give it to him so he can fix my engine.
Okay, so
Mr.
Mr. Feliciano, so you do agree that if Mr. Rafi tows the vehicle from your house to his shop and fixes all these holes and safety lighting, all that, plus the engine, you will give him the $1,000, the half? Correct?
Yes, I don't know how I'm gonna get my money. I don't know how I'm gonna get that $1,000, but I promise to you that I will do that so he can fix my gene. Or if it's not, we're gonna go to court.
Okay, Mr. Rafi.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Can we put if we do this, can we put like a clause that if we give him the $1,000, it's gonna be after he fixed the engine, not a penny before that? Because we want to guarantee that it's going to be fixed.
This is not an agreement with the city. So this is an agreement this would be an agreement between you and Mr. Rafi. So you can put, that in there, in whatever agreement you would like. And then I think Commissioner Espinosa Madam Chairwoman was going to be asking Mr. Rafi a question.
Right, Mr. Rafi, I mean, having heard everything that Mr. Feliciano and his wife has said, what do you think right now? And I don't want to stay on the subject forever now or any longer. So is this something that you are willing to do or not?
This was my original offer to him. Like,
okay,
this was my, yeah.
So you will tow the vehicle to your shop.
Yep.
You will work on all these safety, this lighting, holes, all that needs to be fixed, plus the engine work. And that would be Mr. Feliciano will be responsible for the half, which is $1,000, not a penny more.
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay. Mr. Feliciano, you heard Mr. Rafi, he did say, so I think that it's just a matter of knowing, and Attorney G, I don't know if this is even part of what we should be talking about, but what is the agreement? When is the car going to be towed, and how long would it take? And the only reason why I say that is because it seems like they have been going on with these issues for a very long time now. So I'd hate to have Mr. Feliciano wait to have this car towed, 2-3 weeks from now, and then for Mr. Rafi to keep it another 2-3 months or so. So when, Mr. Rafi, when do you expect to get this work done?
Yes, I'll have to look for the part. I mean, the thing is, I don't want to give you just estimates. If you want to give me a day, I can send you my whole proposal to you by email, because shops are closed right now. I don't have delivery estimates of parts. So tomorrow morning, first thing, I can go sit in my office. I can call the parts stores, whatever parts are needed, get the parts in, right? Because last time I checked, availability was there, but that was 2 weeks ago. So I don't know what has changed in 2 weeks. So tomorrow morning, I can give you 100% of estimate of when the parts will come. When the parts do arrive, the next day I can have his vehicle towed in.
So, Mr. Rafi, do you believe this vehicle will be fixed by September 14th, our next meeting?
Today is 24th.
Yes.
It should be. The thing is, subject to parts. I have to get the parts estimate tomorrow morning, because parts are not in my hand. I can give you 100% estimate tomorrow morning. I cannot do anything. It's not at my liberty. I can start working on the car immediately. That's not a problem. That's my end. My mechanic, I control it. But parts, I will have to get the estimate tomorrow morning. I can do my best to get it by September 4th. What's the date you said? September 14th? 14. That's
September
20 days,
14th.
3 weeks from now. Yes, I should be able to.
Okay. Well,
If I
then-
may, Madam Chairperson, it may
Yes.
be prudent to just make a suggestion that the agreement would be that Mr. Rafi would have the car towed from Mr. Feliciano within the next 5 business days, and have it fixed by September 14th, assuming that there are no delays with parts.
And pass inspection.
And pass inspection, correct, yes.
okay.
So that Mr.
Okay.
Feliciano can have a finite expectation of when he can expect the car to be picked up.
Okay. And all commissioners agree?
Excuse me. There's just one thing too. Once Mr. Rafi gets into the motor, there might be some other unforeseen expenses. But can we indicate that Mr. Lewis' expense would not exceed the $1,000?
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Is Mr. Rafi in agreement with that?
Though it might be hard on my end, but to make things easy, I would agree to that.
Fine.
Okay, so being that this is an informational hearing, do we make a motion and take a vote on this? Usually, I don't think we do that on informational hearings. Am I correct, Peter?
I think we can.
We can.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can continue with those, with the agreement in place.
Okay, so I make a motion that we continue the New England Motor Cars LLC DBA New England Motor Cars located at 720 Berkshire Avenue. Mr. Rafi Mohammed Rasan, manager. Bear with me. So I make a motion that we continue this until September 14th, our next meeting. By then, the vehicle should be fixed. The safety on the vehicle should be fixed. The engine on the vehicle should be fixed. It should have passed inspection. And Mr. Feliciano will come out of pocket just $1,000, not a penny more. Am I missing anything? Is that okay?
And that Mr. Rafi will have the car towed? I'm sorry, I don't know. if
Mr.
you-
Ruffy will have the car towed within 5 days. Bring it to his shop and have it ready for no later than September 14th, which is our next meeting.
Second,
Is there a second? Okay. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez.
No.
Okay. 4 yes, 1 no. Commissioner Espinosa, yes, sorry. Okay, so Mr. Rafi, Mr. Feliciano, Mr. Feliciano, the car will be towed within the next 5 days. Mr. Rafi, if you can find out all that information about the parts and get this vehicle to your lot and fixed and back to
Sure.
us by September 14th.
Will do. Thank you.
And
Okay.
pass inspection.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Okay, thank
Can I
you.
say
Good night.
something?
Yes.
Can I say
you.
something?
Ms.
Can I say
Ye-
something?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much, and God bless all.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Have a good night. Thank
Good
you.
night.
You as well. Thank you.
Okay, the next informational hearing is the East Hampton Cider Project located at 21 Bourne Street, Three Rivers, Mass. Event planner Joshua.
Le iban a
Romeo?
joder la licencia con todo. Pero
Luis, ¿todavía estás aquí? Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Can
you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Josh, can you tell us a little bit? Can you give us some information about, what you're planning for this day?
Yeah, so my plan for this day is, well, just so you know, I'm a small craft cider producer. I've been in business for about a year now, and my focus is on making hard cider from trees that I grow as well as local orchards, and I focus exclusively on using heirloom cider specific varieties. But I do about 500, 600 gallons a year. It's not much. And I sell at local farmers markets, craft fairs, things like that. And that's primarily how I make my money. I'm also in a few different bottle shops and restaurants in the area as well. But I applied to the Mattoon Street Festival, and the festival organizers accepted me into their event for the 10th and 11th. And my plan is to have a tent set up there with a table and a few different varieties of my hard cider. And I'll be selling bottles at the festival. The bottles won't be intended for on-premise consumption. They'll be intended to be taken home by the guests and then enjoyed at home.
Okay. Are you planning to give out samples? Would it's just strictly selling the bottles, the sealed bottles?
Yeah, I think what we had discussed with the event organizers is that I would be strictly selling bottles.
Okay. Okay. Any questions from the commission?
We have a cidery that sells at the Forest Park Farmers Market, and they have some sort of a certification from Mass Department of Agriculture. You have that?
I do. I have,
Okay.
for any farmers market that I take part in, I have the MDAR certification for that farmers market. And that's just something that I need to take part in farmers markets. It's not required for other events like the Mattoon Street Festival, because
Yeah.
that's not really a Mass Department of Agriculture event.
Oh, so do you have to have a one for every farmer's market where you sell? Oh my God.
Correct. Yes. That's what I do. Yeah.
Aren't you glad you don't sell cars though?
Yeah.
So are these like, what size are the bottles?
500 milliliters. So roughly 16 ounces.
16-ounce bottles. Are you going to just sell single bottles or 6-packs, or how does it?
I sell them by the single bottle. It's like a champagne style bottle. So it's really a higher end premium cider product. And I sell them individual bottles. Yeah, I don't have 6-packs or cans or anything like that at the moment.
Okay.
And you will make sure that you are selling to people over 21.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. You know, I'm TIF certified. I've been doing at markets for a long time. Anybody that even appears to be under the age of 30, I card to make sure that I'm selling to anyone that's 21 or older. And then, you know, I have little bags, 2 little brown bags that I put the cider in after the sale's made for the people to carry home.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions from the board?
If
No.
I may, Madam Chairperson,
Yes.
we did just have one question after reviewing this application, which was just how will you control under the possibility that this could be consumed on premises or under 21, folks who are under 21 and attending the festival? If you can just speak to that.
Well, so beyond once they move away from my booth, I can't do much. But what I've done at other events and other farmers markets, like the Chicopee market, for example, is they have like little red stickers that, you know, I put over the bag. So when I hand the person the bag gets closed. The red sticker goes over the bag. And, you know, then if the sticker is broken or someone's found consuming the product where they shouldn't be, you know, and the sticker is broken or the bag's opened, that would be an indicator that, you know, they're breaking the law.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Okay. Okay. Well, we don't have any other questions. Then I make a motion that we approve the East Hampton Cider Project located at 25 Bourne Street, Three Rivers, Mass. Event planner Joshua, the opportunity to sell his cider at the Mattoon Street Festival.
September 10th and September 11th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Second.
Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Good luck.
Good luck.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, so we move on to the pre-hearing conferences. We do have 3 of them, Mardi Gras being the first.
Good evening.
Good evening. Been a long meeting, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm here with Sherry Vai, who is the manager of the Mardi Gras. This happened, if you've read the police report, happened inside of what's called the X Room, which is a very kind of walled off area, if you've ever been in there, section of the Mardi Gras license. And Mr. Velasquez is here. He is the individual that runs that particular area. This is something that I've spoken with Miss Attorney Days about repeatedly in the days leading up to today, and she and I had come to some sort of agreement for the board. I'll leave it to Miss Gita if she wants to jump in, but I did speak with Miss Days, and she told me to, you know, let the board know what we agreed upon. But essentially, if you've read the report, this was an allegation that the violation on the city rules is the, I guess you'd call it the lap dance violation, for lack of a better term, the no contact lap dance violation. And I can tell you that the employees that were involved in this under Mr. Velasquez, one of them was fired and one of them was pretty much fired. So, and Ms. Days looked back into the history of the Mardi Gras, and it's been 6 or 7 years. I don't have the exact date. I'll defer to Ms. G as to when the last time they were in front of the board. So, you know, this is a lap dance that someone paid for, but shouldn't have had in many different ways. So the joint suggestion for your consideration is 5 days suspension, 2 to serve, the balance to be held in abeyance for 1 year.
I can represent to the board that that Attorney Days did in fact come to that agreement with Attorney Kelly, and hopes the commission would consider it. And just to clarify the record, as Attorney Kelly stated, the last time that this establishment has been in front of the board in terms of an incident was back in May of 2016, and then there was another incident in February of that same year. So it's been 6 years since there's been a violation.
Any questions or comments from the board members, commissioners?
What was the potential agreement? Again, I'm sorry.
5-day suspension, 2 served and 3 held.
Yes.
What has been done to prevent this from happening again?
Mr. Velasquez and I have spoken. He's familiar with the rules. He's been in this business very long. This is a lapse in, I don't think it was a system failure. It was a employee that went outside the bounds, probably looking for a bigger tip than he should have. Everyone that works there has been re-instructed that there's absolutely no contact under any circumstances. There's also an employee who designated to watch those rooms. He has also been disciplined and then re-instructed to keep monitoring and walking in and out those rooms, or that area, I should say. It's not really a separate room, but the area.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
No. Do we agree on the agreement before us?
Seems reasonable to me.
Well, in that case, then I make a motion that we suspend Mardi Gras license. Well, I'm sorry. I make a motion that we have a 5-day suspension with 2 served and 3 held. Now the agreement, we would have to agree on when it would be those days that we have to, we're gonna, I'm sorry.
Sure. I actually didn't, when I hung up with Ms. Days earlier today, when we finally came to this final agreement, I actually didn't think, unfortunately, to think of those days. However, I know the board's customary is to at least always have one on a weekend. At least that seems to be the custom for my clients anyway. So, and I know as Ms. Days tells me, getting it done quickly, the next weekend is not necessarily quick enough to get a written decision out. So I'm suggesting the 3rd and the 5th.
If I may be wrong, but we usually do both days back to back. So it would be Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday, and it would be that weekend coming up.
How about
that has been our history.
Okay, how about 2 and 3 then?
I don't want to. Is that Friday and Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion, to hold it on Friday and Saturday.
I don't have a problem with that.
So September 2nd and September 3rd.
Yes.
Yes. That will, somebody has to write up that suspension letter and have it delivered, though. Correct?
Yes, that's why I didn't ask for this weekend. I know in the few past, it's been too quick to have that done.
Right. So is that going to allow the commission, whoever's writing it, I assume Attorney Days, opportunity to do that?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know yes, it's an important matter. I can't imagine that Attorney Days wouldn't prioritize it.
Traditionally, in a suspension, we also impose a sign which has to be displayed in the door as to the reason why the business is closed. So I would suggest that the suspension include the sign. And I will prepare the sign and email it to Attorney Days.
Okay.
That's
Peter.
To me, to make it quicker, is I'll accept service via email for whatever Attorney Days wants to send me.
Okay.
Okay, Peter, do you mind making that motion, please?
Okay, I make a motion that the offer of a 5-day suspension with 2 days to be served and 3 days to be held in abeyance for 1 year be accepted by the board. Those days to be served will be September 2nd and 3rd. And assign the License Commission sign for the reason of the closure be posted in the door. Do I hear a second?
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay. Thank you. Our second pre-hearing conference is Center Stage, located at 265-271 Dwight Street. Joanna Asking, Manager of Record. This is on an incident of June 6, 2022, failure to call the police to report disturbance, violation of security plan, failure to warn suspect upon entry and re-entry to the licensed establishment. Number 3, violation of security plan item number 14, allowing a bag other than a purse into the licensed premise, and violation of security plan item number 15, failure to have at least 2 security personnel on duty.
Good evening again. Ms. Askins is also on as well, the manager. Similarly, I've also spoken with Ms. Days about this and have a joint recommendation. Just some background. A woman called, said that a patron had a gun in there, and the police came and the person had left and nothing was found. But the videotape showed that they weren't fully staffed like they should have been, and they didn't have somebody at the door wanding people at the metal detector like they should have. No excuse. By way of mitigation, they never really got back to fully staffed or full hours since COVID. Business just hasn't supported it. So, and I've talked to Attorney Days. We'll be submitting a new post-COVID security plan for your consideration, as the bar just isn't staffed the way it used to be. It just isn't. And by way of some background, the woman who called was the girlfriend and mother of the baby father of the man who left. So it seemed to be she was calling to get him in trouble, but nevertheless, they were not staffed like they should have been. So in looking at their file, Ms. Days told me we were trying to go off our memory as the city file didn't, as far back as it went, there was no violations there. So it's been 7, 8 years probably since there's been a violation. She felt that the records go back nearly 10 years and there wasn't one in the file. I have some memories of ones that go back 8, 9 years, but I always defer to the file because sometimes they always run together. But in any event, the recommendation that Ms. Days put to us and my client told him to accept is a 5-day suspension with 1 day to serve and the balance be held in abeyance, the 4 days be held in abeyance. And we would offer the same day, the 3rd, which is a Saturday, which is obviously their busiest night.
And I can confirm that I did speak with Attorney Days and she did convey that same recommendation to me.
Any comments from the commission?
Attorney Kelly, are you saying there was a domestic relationship between the woman and the no, that wasn't clear.
Yes, the dancer in question has a baby with the person she called the police on. She didn't tell them that. They were arguing over things that people with babies argue about that have other girlfriends and boyfriends. So, I guess that's either here or there. I just wanted to give you a little background. This wasn't a stranger situation. They're well acquainted with each other. She was calling the police to get him in trouble. And we're here serving a suspension because of it. Or perhaps serving one, should you agree to it.
Oh, I see.
What has happened with the person?
How long did it take for the police department to be called?
I think she called them. I have to defer to the report. It wasn't as though there was some sort of disturbance there. You wouldn't know it by looking at the videotapes, at least the videos that I requested, and I'll defer to Barry on the report, but she called it in. So
I was just concerned of the lapse of time of the police department was called. Barry, are you able to help us with that?
well, I'll defer to Barry, but I'm looking at Barry's report, and it says that she called in and told them that there was an assault. So
I believe what happened was she left there at some point. She went to the police station. I believe at that time she didn't make a report, and they told her if she changed her mind to call back. And that's what she did. She called from her home, I believe, the next day, and they sent her to like an alternate report line. She made the report several days later.
So the call wasn't originated from the establishment. It was made from home and her visit to the police station.
yes. And by looking at the videotape, you wouldn't notice that there was any disturbance. Somebody goes in, somebody walks out later. It wasn't reported to the management.
What are you thinking, John?
I don't see where the fault is of the establishment if she'd have made it known that there was a disturbance or issue with her and her. I'm sorry to put it, to the baby's father or something. I don't know. She should have made it known at the time of the incident, not waiting X amount of time. And if they not know anything about it, it's nothing they can do of not calling the police department. So I'm still trying to gather where is their fault. Unless they knew about it and they didn't call the police. But if she went on her own to the police department, and then later, when they said she decided a day later to call the police department, I just don't. Where am I finding this at? Where's the violation on that part?
If I may, Commissioner Ramirez, I think that the reason why this matter is before you is because there's an allegation that that the establishment failed to follow the security plan in Wanding, and that they failed to follow the security plan in allowing a bag in the premises. But just so, and as well as have the appropriate number of personnel on site at that time.
Okay.
So I think that's why the matter is before you.
All right. Sorry, I was lost somewhere there.
Well, I think that there are, the 4 violations have to do with the security plan. And my suggestion would be the 5 days, do the same thing as with, our previous location, with 5 days, 2 served and 3 held. Being that there is 4 violations, I understand they're all related to the security, but I mean, that's my suggestion. Anybody have?
Attorney Kelly, what is you're submitting a revised security plan? How are you revising the security plan?
Just the staffing levels and the hours, and how many people have on duty. They still should have people there wanding and on the at the metal detector. But I mean, if you look at this video, I don't know if you've watched these videos, but there's nobody in there. The place is open and just businesses. I mean, it just never came back. Quite frankly, just never came back. So
heck now?
No,
Still not. Oh.
So they're going to have to reconfigure their security plan to meet their staffing levels. And the staffing level is based on how many people they have, in the establishment. Weekday days, I mean, it used to be busy. It's just, there's no one there. And that the video kind of shows that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a motion? I can go ahead and make, my motion, and that would be that Center Stage serve 5-day suspension, 2 served and 3 held, and we can use the same days as September 2nd and September 3rd.
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
No.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Again, if Attorney G, and Peter, if you can send that form, that's fine over.
And the sign, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And just to confirm, Attorney Kelly, you'll accept service
Via email.
the email? Okay, thank
Well,
you.
this is a pre-hearing conference, so Attorney Kelly, are you and your client in agreement with this suspension?
Not really, but let me just give me a minute.
All right.
Can we do the maybe 2 different days? Can we do get my calendar out?
We usually don't give the opportunity to choose the dates. Usually we, do the following weekend. I don't know if the board wants to entertain other days other than the 2nd and the 3rd.
Okay. Is that a new policy? I was just going to push it back a week. Yeah.
I think if we've been doing that consistently,
Okay.
I would say
we have. It's usually that following weekend that we have been.
All right. Can we do the 3rd and 4th then instead of the 2nd, 3rd?
If I may, I think, Attorney Kelly, I think your concern is just that both establishments will be closed at the same time.
Not necessarily. It's just different staffing levels and just different, different nights. It's harder to get people to stay when they're not working a certain other night. That's all. So, I mean, that's why
I don't have a problem with the 3rd and 4th.
And we're asking for Saturday, Sunday rather than Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, right. Saturday, Sunday plus 2 is a huge weekend as well. So it's Labor Day weekend. So I think any day would pretty much be impactful that weekend. So 3rd and 4th is good with me.
So serve the 3rd and the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in agreement?
So we have to remotion.
Right, or, right, so I make a motion that, Center Stage is served of, actually, that has a 5-day suspension, served 2 days, 3 to be held, and we will use September 3rd and September 4th. Those are correct, right?
Right.
To be served on those 2 days. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
No.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
No.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, so you have September 3rd and September 4th. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Our next item is Fuego Sports Bar. Who is here for Fuego Sports Bar?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chairman. Attorney Dan Hagan's here. I also have the manager of record, Pedro De Leon, here in my office.
Okay. So Fuego Sports Bar located at 885 Carew Street, Pedro de Leon, manager of record. There's an incident from June 4th, 2022. One exceeding the posted occupancy limit of 40. Two, employee Jose Ortiz consuming alcohol on licensed premise. Three, violation of City of Springfield noise ordinance. And number four, offering entertainment after 1 a.m. without a required late night entertainment license.
So, Madam Chairman and the rest of the board, Fuego is looking to resolve the issues tonight, if possible. This is a first violation for them. They obviously take it very seriously. And they've made some changes to, they've trained their staff on all of these issues. As you heard, there was some noise issues going on. They now have both the manager and staff, if a manager isn't there, routinely going outside of the premises to monitor noise levels to ensure that nothing is exceeding the levels and that there's no issues with, the surrounding residents. In terms of the capacity limits, they've now instituted clickers to make sure that they have a good handle on the number of people in there. It's maybe more by way of mitigation than anything, but I believe in the reports there was some reference to 30-person capacity, but their on-premises license is 40, and I think the police said they have somewhere between 40 to 50 inside. So just by way, it's not a 30 to 40 or 50, it was a 40, and there may have been a few extra in there, but again, no excuse, just by way of mitigation. And then they've obviously made it clear that no one is to be drinking during working hours there. There is no Jose Ortiz that works for them. However, there is someone by a similar name who they think may have been the individual the police were dealing with, and he's no longer going to be on the premises or working in a capacity, working any capacity on the premises. They've also instituted cameras too to keep a better eye on what's going on inside. I did talk to Attorney Days earlier, and as I said, this is their first violation, and I don't think you'll see them in front of you again. But I spoke to her, and her recommendation, along with mine, would be that we have the 5 days, but because it's a first violation of their business, we hold the 5 in abeyance. And Attorney G may be able to confirm if that's.
Yes, I did speak with Attorney Days, and she did state that that was going to be the joint recommendation to the board.
So the manager of record left at 8 p.m. on a Friday night. Do you think that was using good judgment?
Yes, go ahead. The reason why I left, sir, is I work for.
I can't hear what he's saying.
The reason why I left at 8 was called early into my fire station, and I left at 8 o'clock. I was called in at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I left at 8 so I can get some sleep before I go in to work my 24-hour shift, and that's the reason when I left. When I left, the manager that was supposed to be the owner that was supposed to take my place, she couldn't take my place because she just had recent surgery, so she sent her husband to act in her behalf. So yeah, it was a lack of judgment. I should have never done that. I take full responsibility for that, but I thought, going to my fire department, being tired, I didn't know if I was going to have a busy day, so that's why I left at 8 o'clock.
That was very poor judgment. On a evening as busy as a Friday or a Saturday, you stay until closing time.
Yes, sir. I understand.
And so you did say that you asked your employee to stay. She couldn't do it, and she sent her husband.
Yeah, she had just had. She's the owner, so our license agreement was if I'm not there, the owner will be in my place as a manager. She just had recent surgery, so she didn't want to leave the bar without any management, so she sent her husband in her place.
Okay.
And who is her husband?
Joshua Ortiz.
And all right. So when the police officers encountered him, he had alcohol in his breath.
He doesn't drink, sir.
Well, that's what the report says. Just telling you.
I can't refute it. I wasn't there.
And why was there a DJ and a band there playing and when you don't have a late night entertainment license?
I think I can probably answer that. I think they were not aware of the difference between their alcohol beverage license, which allows them to go till 2, and the entertainment, which was supposed to end at 1. I think there's a little miscommunication there. Again, they are new and they're trying the best they can to comply, but that is, I think, what the confusion was. And now, obviously, they've stopped the entertainment at 1 o'clock. There's no more after that, and they're ultimately would like to try to apply to go till 2, but as of now, they will keep it to 1 o'clock.
They're off to a really bad start.
Peter, I might need your assistance on this, but when they was changing the name of this establishment, it was a conversation was presented to us that they can't fit anyone to even put someone to DJ or something to that nature.
Yeah. I don't even know. I mean, with 40 people in there,
Right.
I don't know how there would be a DJ too. It's tiny. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's tiny.
Yeah. So I don't know how they were able to fit that.
I think I remember there was talk about, and I think they said something about jukebox music, I think it was.
Right.
It wasn't going to be a DJ or anything because you wouldn't be able to fit, many people there.
I didn't represent them at that time, so I really can't comment. I don't know what the promises that were made or not for that, so.
Okay. Anything else from the commission? Any other questions?
No.
So Attorney G, what was the conversation, if you don't mind me asking again?
Yes, so the joint recommendation reached between Attorney Days and Attorney Hagan was 5 days with nothing to serve, everything being held in abeyance for 1 year, being that this is the establishment's first time before the commission. And what I would say to Attorney Hagan is I'm sure he's an astute attorney, so he's been listening, is that he will take heed to the recommendations and feedback that's been provided by the commission during this hearing, so that hopefully his client is not before the commission again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, Attorney Days is actually joining the meeting now, so.
Are there any suggestions from board members while Attorney Days comments? Peter?
My opinion is that this is 5 days with nothing to be served is overly generous for this lack of leadership and these many issues on a new licensee. I would say at least 1 day to be served.
I'm concur with Peter.
Okay. And any other suggestions? Peter, do you want to make that motion?
I would make a motion that the offer, this is a pre-hearing conference, the offer be for 1 day to be served, September 3rd, and 4 days to be held in abeyance for 1 year.
Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Kane?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
If I may interrupt for a second, but doesn't Attorney Hagan have to agree because this is a pre-hearing?
Well, yeah, we vote on what
That's correct.
the amount is, and then
That's
we'll
correct.
offer. Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
Alicia Days here.
Hi, Alicia
Yeah,
Days.
he would have to accept
Right.
that.
Okay.
And I would just tell you, if I could I just got on, so I didn't hear the rationale or the discussion with respect to this. But when I spoke to Attorney Hagan today, my offer was 5 days with 0 to serve, based on the fact that, honestly, that they are a new establishment. And in the past, we have given letters of warning for first offenses. But again, I will say to you that I just got on, so I didn't hear, the discussion surrounding the commission's position.
So I think, Attorney Days, I think the discussion was around the fact that there are 4 violations, and we do understand that this is their first time, they're new, but I know Commissioner Singleton brought up the fact that this is, he should have never left that early and left someone in charge who was going to be drinking or allowing all these violations to happen. And so we were talking about, or the discussion was, the 5 days, 1 to be served and 4 to be held for the year.
Okay, again, it's at your discretion. But I agree that with the pre-hearing conference, Attorney Hagan and his client would have to agree, or it would move forward, of course, to a final hearing.
Right. So we were voting. I don't know how far we got.
Okay, I think it was me. Yes. Who's next?
Who's next?
But you're voting. Did Attorney Hagan accept it?
Not well. We're voting on what we think the penalty should be, and then we're going to propose it to him.
Okay, sounds like the cart before the horse, but okay.
Right. So I think I think we should see if Attorney Hagan and his client is acceptable to that, and then
all right,
go on and vote it. Attorney Hagan.
Yes, so we are amenable to that. I guess the only thing we would ask is it possible to do it on a Friday as opposed to the Saturday, the 2nd as opposed to the 3rd? That would be our only request, but otherwise we're in agreement with that.
I don't have a problem with that. As I indicated before, that is a impactful weekend, all the days, pretty much.
So September 3rd, you said? I'm sorry? 2nd, September 2nd?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
Peter, you want to amend your motion? Was it your motion?
I will make a motion that the suspension be for 5 days, 1 day to be served September 2nd, 4 days to be held in abeyance for 1 year, and the sign as to why the license place establishment is closed be posted on the door of the premises, and I will provide the sign to Attorney Days. Do I hear a second?
Second.
That is September 2nd.
September 2nd.
Right.
Commissioner Kane?
Did everybody second?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes.
I'm sorry, there were a couple of people talking at the same time. Who seconded? Was that Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that would be September 2nd, and the license office. How is that going to get to the attorney or
it would be emailed?
Emailed? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Alicia, you have a lot of letters to write. Is this okay for September 2nd?
Yes, that's fine.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. So I think that is it. Other than the new business, we have been discussing the new license type annual fee for Farmer Series.
Yeah, we're going to push that to the next meeting.
Okay, so I make a motion that we continue the discussion regarding the new license type annual fee to September 14th, 2022.
Second.
Yes.
Commissioner Kane?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. It's been a while since I did that. Okay, well, I make a motion that we adjourn our meeting at 7:24.
There's no new violations to hear, right?
No.
No. Tonight.
Alicia, did you say
Yeah.
that the license fee is based on the number of barrels they produce?
Yes, that's what I said.
That was Johnny Ramirez, yes. Oh my gosh.
I know, huh? It's contagious. But yeah, I want a little more time to do a little more research because, as I said to you, I think it's archaic and you know, based on what the surrounding towns have done, which we talked about last time, I want to do a little more research on that.
Well, in the interest of research and service to this commission, I visited Rustic in person and asked them while I was enjoying my beer, how many barrels they produced, and the answer is 260, which I don't know if that's a lot or a little, but that's what they said. So FYI on that. We had, what did we do with these common vic licenses that we decided to close? What happened to those? Cornerstone?
Well, that is a really good question. Some have come in. I'll need to, I know there are not that many outstanding at this point, but in answer to your question, I mean, it moved them to come in, but there's still probably 3 or 4 stragglers out there.
All right. Thank you.
But one quick question, if I may. Officer Del Marter had mentioned at our last meeting that the leases had 2 more violations.
Yes.
They be presented to this meeting. Did that ever come to fruition?
Yeah, well, there are 2 additional violations, and you know, I don't want to talk about specifics of them, but they'll be present before you at the next hearing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
anything else? More?
And special thanks to Attorney G for filling in for me.
Good job.
Yes.
Greatly appreciate it.
Great job, great job, great job.
Thank you, Attorney G.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess I make a new motion that we adjourn at 7:26.
Second.
Commissioner
Okay,
Singleton.
you guys didn't do a good job because I told Attorney G it'd probably last about an hour. So now I've got to buy her lunch.
Alicia, now that Alicia's here, do you remember the commission quite a while ago, because we haven't heard one of these extremely painful car violations in quite a while. Didn't we agree that we were going to take the car violations last on the agenda because they take so long and everybody else has to sit and wait? Do you recall that?
I don't recall that.
Oh,
I don't. It probably makes sense though, because they do. Well, sometimes they go on and on. I mean,
yeah, they do.
You know what happens most of the time, right? Is they're resolved before the hearing. So this is one of those that you know, that just won't die.
Right.
This one went on and on and on.
Oh boy, this poor guy just wanted to sell his cider, and he's sitting there waiting.
Right.
I think Orlando Ramos made that recommendation, and we all voted on it at the time that those car violations can wait till the end.
Yeah,
I
agree.
And that's what Attorney G was saying. I thought this was only going to take like an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
How did you? I'm just curious. How did you guys resolve it, or did Muhammad show up?
Oh.
Yeah.
So Muhammad did show up. He has one last attempt to fix the vehicle. Mr. Feliciano agreed to pay for half of the engine work, no more than $1,000. So the Jeep will be towed within 5 days to Mr. Rafi's shop.
Okay.
And he has until the 14th, September 14th, our next meeting, to have it fixed. So it's been pretty much continued until September 14th.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan.
That's good.
Okay, well, good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.